We are live here at CRL 360 headquarters to bring you another episode of CRL 360. What a surprise. I am here joined by Jilly Jombers and Liam Ryan. How we going, boys?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
So, boys, what are you guys, so let's start with, what are you guys thoughts on, like, this round in general?
I thought it was a very exciting round to watch in general, and we're starting to get into the pointy end of the season now, and things are just starting to ramp up every game.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think this round definitely the ladder's starting to take shape. That'll be proven even more with our power rankings to come in a bit. Yeah, it's tonight we've got obviously we've got to sum up each game. We've then got the team of the week plus our power rankings. We're now going to look at the 4 teams who are in the race to finish 4th and 5th, and the likelihood of finishing in the finals. Before we look at our round 8 predictions. Alright, let's get into it, boys. Our first game of the round, and this was a big one. But it was thumping the Broncos 36-16. What are your thoughts on this match, boys?
Yeah, thought it was a good game. The Broncos got a lot to work on for next season. I think the season's almost done. But you can clearly say that on the team list for next week. But yeah, I don't know what to say for the Broncos. It's just been really disappointing these last couple of weeks.
Well, this was a must-win game for both sides, and I just think the Eels were a step above. I think the Broncos have shown real potential all season, and now that they're out of the race, I think they can really focus on Season 2, and honestly, with just a few changes, I think they could be a genuine threat next year.
Yeah, the Broncos, they're an interesting team, aren't they? They started as really well and had a lot of really good hope after they lost to who many consider a premiership threat right now, the Tigers, only by 6, to then go back-to-back victories, and they haven't won since. And one of those victories were actually against the Sharks. We now see one of the top teams in the competition, so yeah, it's gonna be the Broncos, they're out the race, but I'm looking forward to see what they can bring us next season and before these last 2 games, if they can get some wins together before the end of the season. And the Eels, on the other hand, I think they're genuine dark horses for the top 5, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's starting to come full circle now from the start of the season. We really expected a lot from the Eels. I think they just had a lot of a bit of a form slump, and they've beaten the Panthers now. They lost in a close margin against the Raiders, and they've beaten the Broncos pretty convincingly. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Parramatta made it.
Yeah, in that game against the Raiders, you just mentioned, they probably should have won that game. Like, the amount of possession Raiders had, they could have won by about 20. Raiders had close, I think, about 33% of the ball. So, they were pretty good to only lose by 6 there. And, the Eels, they're going to have to, I think the good thing about the Eels, right, is that both teams, the Versus and the Roosters and the Seagulls, are both in the finals race. So, them winning not only pushes them up the ladder, it pushes another team down the ladder.
Yeah.
So I think that if they can win those games, then they're definitely they're probably going to make it then, yeah, aren't they? They aren't going to rule dark horses.
Well, yeah, I think next week is very important. I think the winner of Eels v Seagulls, I'm not sure who Eels verse in round 9, but I'm pretty sure it's a easy. Oh, okay, so it's not an easy, but it's not.
That's what I was saying.
Hard.
It's like both teams are in the mix to make finals.
Yeah, I think whoever wins next week between Seagulls and Eels will make finals.
It's funny. I think the Eels are kind of in knockout comp right now.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. Like last week they beat the Broncos, they're out. The versus Seagulls, if it lose, will be out. They're gonna versus the Roosters next week, and at them obviously, or in round 9 they're gonna versus the Roosters. Obviously, we don't entirely know right now, but it's very likely the loser if that makes finals, winner maybe doesn't.
Yeah, I think that'll be the battle for 5th and 6th.
Yeah, potentially. Well, obviously, it depends on how this week goes. The Eels could lose to the Seagulls on Tuesday, and, well, that's it for them anyway. But we'll have to see.
For sure.
I guess we're going to our next game of the round. We had the Panthers getting out of trouble against the Newcastle Knights. What were your thoughts of this game?
Thought I was really mad at the Knights. They couldn't hold on in the last 7 minutes, which really made me mad.
Why'd it make you mad? You're not there,
I
right?
mean,
It's thrown his minor premiership chances off.
Yeah, no. I know, but it's kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, I think I think that just came down to experience there for the Panthers. They've been in situations like that before where they're behind. Knights haven't really been up at all, apart from last week against the Rabbitohs. Other than that, they haven't really had many leads all season, and I think 2 times that they have had leads against good teams and just choked them at the last second.
Yeah, I think.
And once again, it came down to experience, I think, this week.
Yeah, I think the Knights just got too excited. I think they thought we've beaten the top team here. We've beaten the Panthers, right? With still about 10 minutes left on the clock, and they just kind of clocked off like they thought the job was done. And Panthers are a good enough side where you give them a sniff, they'll score.
It was even less than that. It was actually 7 minutes left. They scored
7?
Panthers scored their first
Damn.
try. Yep, 7 minutes to go, and they scored their first try. Knights are the better side for about 72 minutes. And the Panthers don't need to be the best side all game in order to win. And I think, that's no discredit to the Panthers. They didn't really want to get back into it in Golden Point. Crichton crashed over with about 50 seconds left or so. And then they sent it into Golden Point. Then obviously able to kick the field goal. So, Panthers, they know they're definitely proving they can slot it after they failed to do so a couple of weeks ago against the Eels. So, good job by the Panthers.
Yep.
I think the Panthers give me real 2015 Cowboys vibes. They're comeback kings here in this.
That's the first one they've completed. They attempted to do it against the Eels, but they came up just empty-handed. They've had a few. Oh yeah, they had a few slow starts. I think they did a similar thing against. Oh, they had. I wouldn't say it's as bad, but they had a bit of a slow start against the Raiders. It's a while ago now.
They did it against the Rabbitohs as well. I remember I remember this very clearly. The Rabbitohs being up in round 1 for quite a lot of the game.
Yeah, and in round 3 it actually was. The Raiders were up 8-6 until I think the 50th minute. So yeah, they have been. They're not known for their fast start, Panthers, but they're definitely. I think that moment they sort of hit their strides. Usually from the 40th to 60th minute. Obviously, this week was an exception. They sort of hit it in the 72nd minute, but usually it's just after halftime they hit their strides. Yeah. And I think they probably would want to fix it up, get a bit of the starts a bit better if they want to really prove they are a premiership force. Even against the Roosters, I believe it was 12-6 at halftime, so they really didn't really do much until after halftime. So yeah. I guess we'll move on to our next team if anyone doesn't have anything else to say. This one's a big one because both of you guys are work coach. Obviously, Jilly confirmed this week that you are stepping down for the role for the remainder of the season to work on the Cowboys. I assume you still have your little bit of an ear, maybe mouth into their conversation, making sure they're doing the right thing with your old squad.
Yeah, I've had a few messages back and forth with him, but other than that, I'm taking a bit of a step back. It's mainly the transition. We're pretty much out of finals at this point. I mean, it's going to be very hard, even if we win both our games.
Yeah, we have to roll on other games. But as we're saying, the Sharks took down the Seagulls 18 points to 10. This one's hard. I don't know how to feel about this game. What part of me thinks that both these teams should deserve to be in the top 5. But the Seagulls, I think they've done it a few times. They just never really seem to have hit their stride. We keep thinking that the Seagulls are going to go. They're going to do this week. Oh no, this week will be it. But I don't know if they've really hit their strides yet, which is, I don't know if that's worrying for the Seagulls, worrying for the rest of the competition, if they could pull something in these last couple of rounds. Because they only just beat the Broncos last week. The week before they lost to the Tigers, they were a better team in that game though. And the week before that, they got smashed by the Raiders. So, is this their peak? I don't know.
I think this epitomizes the Seagulls' season, honestly. This loss epitomizes their season. We have really struggled in pretty much every facet. The only time we've scored above 20 points was against the Knights, and it was a Knights team that wasn't good. And we've already...
And you let 20 points.
Yeah, we've always been in the fight. We've always been in every single game except for that Raiders game. But we just can't get the job done. And
that Raiders game could be the difference between you making finals or not.
Yeah.
And that's no disgrace to the Sharks. They're very good. They probably could have won by a little bit more to their credit. But I think in the second half, what really impressed me with the Sharks, they sort of saw that, okay, we'll only wait till the line breaks here. Let's calm it down. And then they just took the next opportunity they got, they took it, and then they just kept the 8-point lead for the rest of the game. They let their Seagulls even get a sniff in the second half.
Yeah.
And I think that was really impressive. It shows that they're definitely a top quality team, the Sharks, I think. Let's let it right down. Liam, do you have any comments on your team's performance this week?
Yeah, I thought in the first half our defense was something that probably wasn't to be proud of. In the sheds, I definitely had a word to the boys and said, let's tighten this up, and they definitely did that in the second half. So I was really impressed with us in the second half defensively.
Yeah. I guess we'll move on to the next game where the Tigers defeated the Rabbitohs 36-18. What are our thoughts in this game?
Well, the Rabbitohs have fallen off a cliff, haven't they?
They've driven and Canvas to stop driving. Just straight off, they started the season quite well, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
They got very close to the Panthers, who weren't even that bad in that game. They defeated the Raiders, who were pretty good. And then, who else did they win other than the Raiders?
The Eels. They beat the Eels as well.
They beat the Eels, which I won't say anything was really that good in that game, but since that Eels game, I think the closest they might have actually been this week.
Yeah. It's the same score it's the same score difference as last week.
Yeah.
So it's 18 points difference.
Jesus Christ.
Closest they've got is 18 points. So that shows why their for and against is currently double the second worst for and against in the comp. That's insane.
Actually, it's 1 point off being doubled because the Broncos have negative 36, they have 70.
It's actually 2 points off because it's... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, double, right. Yeah, right. Not bad. Anyway, we'll just ignore that slight math error. What have the Rabbitohs did to do to fix up the squad in the postseason?
I haven't had a real good look at it, to be honest. I think the halves selection might be a big problem. I think...
Alright, let's give you a situation, right? Out of every single player off contract at the moment, what is the one player you would sign to come to fix the Rabbitohs' problems?
I'm trying to think. I would probably go Sam Walker, to be honest. I think they need a halfback. I don't think Kieran Foran's been that great for them.
He's off contract, isn't he?
Yeah, Sam Walker is off contract.
That's a big one. Is he a silver player, I believe?
He's a silver, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's been pretty decent for the Roosters. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a couple, maybe like one rating off in the off-season, to be fair.
Yeah, I think Sam Walker would be a great signing for them. Obviously, they're trying Blake Tough at 7 this week.
I think not necessarily in the thing that like Blake Tough deserves to be. I think that Kieran Foran hasn't been great all season. And I think finally maybe like try someone else that's probably best for them for the remainder of the season.
Just to experiment. They're out of the finals race for sure.
With that for and against, there's no chance to get back. They pretty much have. I think there is a small chance that they win by 50 both their games and then win both their games. They can do it, and then they still have to get lucky. 50, and then they still have to get lucky. They still have to get lucky.
Look, what I'll say about the Rabbitohs is they may be going under a massive rebuild. Rebuild. Yeah, I think. Because if you look at their squad, their bottom, they've got Troy Dargan, he's going to be deregistered, Mago deregistered, Chambers deregistered. Plus then, they've got pretty much all their bronzes except for 2 in Matt Moylan and George Burgess, who are off contract, along with also Sam Lasane. So the Rabbitohs could be looking at a big rebuild here. I
wouldn't be surprised if to have half their bronzes changed.
Yeah.
Close to even more. I genuinely think the Rabbitohs, they're going to be under. And I think that the good thing about the Rabbitohs is they can go through this massive rebuild in this offseason. I think there's a few clubs going through, but I think Rabbitohs is probably the biggest one at the moment. I think they're going to go through this. Knights are going to go for one with a new coach too. But with the Rabbitohs, though, they have a lot of freedom to do whatever they want. And then next season, because of how bad they did this season, they're going to have zero pressure on them.
Yeah.
Which I think is really positive for the Rabbitohs. They're not the greatest position, but they're in a position where they really have a lot of flexibility to just do what they want in the offseason. Just get the team he wants build from there, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I guess we'll move on. Does anything else to say on that game?
No.
No, I guess we'll move on to the final game of the game, which this one was by far the most exciting, just in terms of what happened in the final 10 minutes or so. The Roosters defeating the Raiders 26 points to 22. What are our thoughts of this game?
Well, I've been saying it all season, but the Roosters have been probably I think the Roosters have been the most underrated side in the comp.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I'm guilty. I've been underrating them all season. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think that they could. A lot's going to happen with that round 9 clash between Roosters and Eels, but if Roosters make finals, I could see them pushing hard. Do I think they'll get the entire way? Probably not. But
I think that the thing that pushes me off is the fact that they just weren't even close to Penrith against a couple weeks, just last week.
And they're gonna have to play if they can get the thing is they're gonna have to play one of those top sides in the finals. If they make it that far, they're gonna have to play one of the top 3. It concerns me. They have to play one of the Tigers, Sharks, or the likely Sharks or the Panthers. So,
well, the Roosters have, other than the Tigers and Panthers, the Roosters have done well against the top sides in the Sharks, Raiders, and even you could say kind of Manly and Eels.
Yeah, but actually, they beat the Sharks, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did beat us. Yeah, they did.
So I don't see them going all the way, but I could see them perhaps making an upset in week 2 of the finals. But if they get past week 1, I could see them upsetting a team and knocking them out.
I could see them actually doing decent. I think they're definitely up there now. I still have concerns. They against the Panthers, they were just not even close to the entire game.
Yeah.
Whereas at least I know the Raiders lost to them, which the Raiders definitely could have won that game. They actually had the same amount of tries, just the fact that the conversions ended up being the difference, right? At least with the Raiders against the Panthers, round 3, I understand it was round 3, but at least they were pretty much close to the entire game. Panthers never got a bigger scoreline than 6 points. So,
yep.
I mean, take what you will about that, but I just... That's what concerns me. I think the Roosters can do well against any other team. It's just the Panthers. I just have concerns over them versus the Panthers at the moment. And it does be about the Tigers, maybe even the Sharks. And the Sharks are in massively different form. That loss against the Roosters will really what set the Sharks off. But, yeah, that's what I think at least. Well, then I guess it's time to jump into our team of the week. Now, I've done a bit something different this week. So, usually we name our bench, and the bench is just a bunch of really shit players, but they're done okay, I guess. This week decided to give a bench of player of the week, plus I won the 13, as usual. So I guess we'll jump right into it with our fullback of the week. Now, this one was pretty interesting. Well, there's a few options we could have gone with. I think Papanesso was okay. Dan Laurie was pretty good. We've gone with Clint Gutherson. I think it is the first inclusion in the team of the week, isn't it?
Yeah. Gutherson was really good. He scored 2 tries, got around about 135 meters, and 4 line breaks, which was pretty good stats. I think he was a massive part in why the Eels won that game and why they won by so much. He's kind of been in a contentious spot the past, or even the entire season, where the Eels coach hasn't known what to do with him. I mean, he put Moses in there at fullback at once, didn't he?
Yeah, he did for one round, but that was against the Rabbitohs, and they didn't score a single try, so he swapped the back round. And I'll be honest, since that swap, Gutherson's been close to Eels' best player. I don't know what it was, but that swap when he went returned to fullback, he's just been absolutely. I think it's one of the reasons that Eels are look like a dark horse in finals now. That's just what I think, though.
Yeah.
I guess we move on to our... Oh, sorry, your
Nah, that's all good. That's all good. Move on.
Alright, cool. I guess we're going to our wingers of the week. We have David Nofaluma and Jordan Rapana. These boys were incredible this week on the wing, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I think Rapana had something like 5 line breaks or something, and David Nofaluma was always Mr. Consistent on that wing for the Tigers.
Well, 209 meters, 5 line breaks, 2 tries. Jordan Rapana. He's putting his hand up for the fullback spot big time.
I think he's at fullback this week, isn't he?
Is he?
I believe so.
Did the Raiders finally pull the trigger?
Yeah,
I think that's
Rapana
great.
is at fullback this
I
week.
think that's a great decision.
Yeah, I like that.
Rapana. I think Rapana. I think the thing with Adekar, I understand why he went there. He's fast, and I think that like it makes sense why I put Adekar at fullback. However, I think what I like about Rapana is he offers more. He has the ball playing skill. He also has the speed. He also has the step. I really like him at fullback.
Same. I'm excited for this, man.
Well, on the other side, Nofaluma, with very similar stats, almost identical stats. 204 run meters, 2 line breaks, 2 tries. So he was just as good as well. The Tigers, I don't understand how the Tigers players are doing so well. I mean,
I think David Nofaluma is an exception. David Nofaluma is a great winger.
Oh yeah, but even if you look at his rating, he's the lowest rated silver in their team.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Is he, what is he? 83?
He's 83, yeah, which is as low as a silver can go.
That I actually didn't realize that.
But yeah.
I guess Nofaluma. Yeah, he's gonna. I think he'd probably be up there for +1 or +2, right? Probably by the end of the season.
Maybe. I haven't really followed Nofaluma this season.
Yeah, I feel like he's been decent most games. I feel like I remember him doing a bit of stuff. I guess we'll move on to the centers of the week, which again, centers aren't the easiest. But I think these two definitely just put their place in the team this week. We have James Robb at 2. Got a try assist as a center on Rugby League Live 4. Round of applause for the man. It wasn't even for a pass, it was for a kick. And then we have Wonka Blake in there too. They were both incredible this week at center. They were both really good.
What's happened with Wonga Blake? We've gone from bullying NSL for putting Wonga Blake in the team to him being probably the best center.
Oh, I think we bullied him being on the wing.
Oh.
He's at center now. He's at center now. Now he's actually gunning. So you're correct. Oh, at least I was correct.
But he's not the GOAT. I won't say that.
No, but he's probably the best center right now. By a long shot. I think he did the same. He had 2 very similar tries back to back, where it's just stopped like one player and just run about 60 meters to score a try.
I think he's done it.
Quickest.
I think he's done it in the past 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, because he did it against the Panthers as well.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow. He is something, Wonka Blake. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I think he'll definitely be up there for center, surely now.
Yep.
Will he be a center or winger though? I have to check whether it'll be that. That's going to be interesting. You want to hope he's a center, because if he's a center, I think you could say you get +3, right?
Yeah, easily. He's been so good.
Yeah. And moving on to our next position, we have our 5 we have Channel Harris DeVita. What a game he had.
I think he's been one of the most consistent Eels players, to be fair. And he's played a wide variety of positions. I think he's played 3. He's played the 40-minute bench player. He's played the prop bench player, and he's played at 6, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And I think his best one at the moment is definitely 6. Because I like what his episode's doing. He's pulling him off, right? And for chucking back on a prop, which he can be good at because he's played a bench prop before.
Yeah.
And he's getting basically double reward. He's playing great at 5'8", and they're coming on bench prop and doing the exact same thing, like even close to even better. Like, it's crazy how good he's been.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that he's a real star of the future at Channel Harris DeVita.
I have to ask. Where would Chanel Harris DeVita rate? Would he rate as a winger or as a 5'8"? Not a winger, a bench player or 5'8"? Because I feel like he'd be a bench player. And if he is, I feel like he could be competing for that +3 with maybe Tyron Peachy.
I think Tyron Peachy has more than him at the moment, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I think it'll be up there, Channel Harris DeVita. I don't know. I think it's gonna depend. Like, obviously, a lot of these positions we're talking about, like, it's gonna depend on their finals.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see how that goes. I guess we'll move on to our next player in the team, which we have at halfback. We have Sam Walker.
Well, we touched on him earlier. I think he'll find either Roosters will chuck him a massive contract, or he'll find a new club in season 2. He's been amazing in pretty much every single game he's played, where the Roosters have done well at least, and no exception this week.
Yeah, he's been unreal, and I think he's the large reason why Luke Keary's playing so well. He's just been setting Luke Keary up nicely to put on like a show. Luke Keary's probably up there with Jack Ryan as the best 5'8" in the competition at the moment. Sam Walker probably up there as the best halfback, to be fair, and he's still young.
Yeah,
massive future ahead of this guy. In the CRL especially. I guess we move on to our props of the week. And this week we have Christian Welsh and Junior Paulo. We've finally got some actual good NRL props in here. Some real quality players. They actually both played really well this week, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I'm happy to see Christian Welsh at prop of the week, not winger.
Or on the bench.
Yeah, Fodawaker being moved, suspended. Sorry, as put Welsh where he deserves to be.
Yeah, I think he's finally happy to get some game time.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I don't think he's really got that much game time at all this season. And then Junior Paulo, he's just been really good at prop. I think another big reason why NSL has started to find, or the Eels have started to find a lot of success at their club is because they finally found a way to play Jayden Campbell, Junior Paulo, and Asafa Solomona all at once by moving Asafa Solomona to lock.
Yeah.
And then starting Paulo and Jayden Campbell, and it's a benefit for all three players. It's worked for all three of them.
It means more minutes for all of them, and they've really been taking advantage of it. They all three.
Yeah,
of them
and also
really good.
skyrocketed in rating. He's one of the best locks now.
Yeah.
Up there with you got Tom Olive, Radley, and a few others. McKinnon's, and then Paulo. I think he's also up there as one of the best props. Then we got not so much, but I think Paulo's definitely up there at least.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anyone else have anything to say about these boys, or do we move on?
No, that's it.
All right, we'll go on to our hooker of the week, Reid Marnie. Again, he's just been quality all this week, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been great. I could see Reid Marnie winning Dally M. I could also see him getting hooker of the year. He's been really good. I think he'll be in the top 5 Dally M players for sure. He's currently ranked 7th.
Who's this for, sorry?
Reid Marnie.
For the whole competition?
Yeah, he's currently ranked 7th in the whole competition, so
yeah, he's been really good. But I have some disappointing news this week, boys. Reid Marnie, he missed a tackle.
Oh no.
Our golden boy's done it. He missed the tackle. I think he should be sacked this week. I think Eels have to drop him.
Yep.
Start Dylan Brown.
Give him a 3 or 4 game ban.
Yep.
Suspended. Out for the season. All jokes aside, Marnie's been very good. I think he'll be up there for hooker of the year. But he missed the tackle, so I guess he can't get it now. Guess we'll give it to I don't think McCullough missed any tackles. We'll give it to Andrew McCullough for 2 games. Okay, moving on. We have our second roles of the week. And this week we've got Jesse Ramian and Isaiah Papali'i.
Ramian back-to-back weeks in terms of week. Let's go.
Did he need last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
With Ewan Aiken. Yeah, Ramian has made his home at 11. Or is he at 12? He might be at 12. I don't know. But he's made his home in the second row.
Who's sitting here, right? For the beginning of the season, we've been talking about Jesse Ramian as one of the top 2 second roles in the competition.
I don't think anyone.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. He's started at center. He's definitely made his home in second row now.
Yeah.
My thinking was that he just wasn't getting enough ball, and I knew how good of a fire he was, and I'm like, see him in the second row. Let's see how much more ball he gets and see how he does with it. Done nothing but good things.
Oh yeah, I can tell you all about that. He made how many line breaks? It was quite a few, right?
6 line
6 or
breaks.
something.
6. That's an
That's
insane number.
228 meters.
That's
It
an
was David
insane
Fafita
number.
numbers. It
Yeah.
was David. And then we also have to mention Isaiah Papali'i. We should probably talk a bit about him. He was incredible for the Eels.
I
We
think.
have quite a few Eels players on here this week, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I was looking at it that earlier, but we have the majority of the team is
5.
Eels players.
5 players, isn't it?
Yeah.
1, 2,
I think
3,
it's
4.
Eels and Raiders is the big one. Was it Raiders? I don't think it was.
No.
No, it was someone else. It was another team.
We have 1, 2,
Eels and Tigers.
3, 4,
Tigers. Yeah.
5 Eels players. Then we have.
Oh no. No, there are a few Raiders on there. There's 3.
There are the it's
That's
more,
the second most.
Yeah, so it'd be more Raiders.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
Tigers.
stop talking about numbers and teams. Funny enough, we only actually have 1 Panther player, despite the fact that they are 1. That's kind of funny. But anyway, we'll skip past that for now. Yeah, but Isaiah Papali'i was really good for the Eels. 150 run meters, couple line breaks. It was just solid on that edge.
I think he's been a big contributor to why the Eels have kind of kicked into gear. I think he's been good in all the games so far.
Yeah, I think he's sort of gone like under the radar, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Could be nominated for under. I guess now we'll talk about him. Can't give him under the unlucky Isaiah Papali'i. Guess he's just been removed from that. All jokes aside, he has been very solid for the Eels. Gone kind of under the radar by most players. I think he should be definitely on the radar though. And yeah, move on to our lock of the week, and I think this guy's just making a staple week in week out. We have Jason Tamalolo.
No surprises. Yeah. I mean, Tamalolo was amazing.
He's just solid week in week out.
Yeah.
I have no words for him. He's just breaks tackles every week, makes a couple line breaks, scores a try even. How many tries? I feel like he's got quite a few tries, Tamalolo. I don't know, it could be wrong in that. I feel like he's got quite a few tries. Anyway, we move on to our first bench job player of the week. So no longer we just have 1 bench player of the week now. And we've gone with Panthers Jack Bird, who sort of hinted at this earlier when I said we have 1 Panthers player on here. And it actually was Jack Bird on the bench. He had a hand to both their tries. He scored the try for Panthers, and then he also set up the try that got them into golden points. So yeah, he played really well.
Yeah, he did, and he's earned himself a starting position this week at 6. I'm really excited to see that. I think Jack Bird at 6 is going to be deadly.
Is he really?
Yeah, he switched Edwards to 5 and Bird to 6.
This will be a very
genuinely
scary
didn't even notice that until right now. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how it goes. Obviously, Luai's out. I genuinely forgot Luai was suspended right now. Yeah, gonna be interesting to see how that works. I'm interested to see how our combination goes. I actually really like that, to be honest. And I think that it now does prove that Crichton has earned himself the fullback role.
Yep. No surprise.
I do kind of feel bad for Edwards because Edwards didn't do anything to get rid of that. He was probably one of the best fullbacks when he did it. But Crichton's just been so good. He's currently in the try scoring count.
Maybe
8 tries.
Maybe he shouldn't have got suspended.
Yeah, if he didn't get suspended, Edwards would be fullback. But I think all things happen for a reason. I think it's a big reason why Panthers are doing so obviously is that it's been Crichton at fullback.
Yeah.
Without him, they may not be a premiership contender.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't either.
I do think that they've been good.
Because they were a premiership contender before Edwards got banned.
Yeah, they haven't lost the game with Edwards at fullback.
That's true.
All I will say though is Crichton was pretty quiet on the weekend though, so maybe it's a sign that his form starts to dip. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying he was rather quiet compared to most weeks, even though he did score a try still.
To be fair, fullbacks do have their quiet moments. Like we're seeing with Pappenhausen, been quiet those last few weeks. So
I want to say Pappenhausen hasn't been that quiet. He's still making over 100 run meters and getting a couple of tries.
Quiet for his standards, to be fair.
That's true. Yeah, I guess you look at his standards. Anyway, I guess we move on to my personal favorite segment, the power rankings. Now, this one really proves my point that I think I stated earlier. The ladder is taking shape, and you'll see what I mean later on. We'll start off with our first place team, which, no surprise, I know they came close to losing to the Knights. We still have the Panthers at number 1. I can't move them down.
Yep. There's no
Yep.
no shot we
No
move them down.
reason to.
I think the main reason is that they've shown us all season that even when this going gets tough, they can push their way back to get there. And they did that against the Knights, and this time they ended up winning it. Had they lost, they probably would have dropped down to second, but they didn't lose. So we can't do that. And I guess second place team, and no surprises here, is the Tigers.
Yeah. They've been so surprising. Like, we all had them 10th ahead of the season. All of us had them 10th, and we've reiterated this time and time again. But the Tigers, they just keep on showing up. I mean, how many times now have we said that this is going to be the week that they lose? This is going to be the week that they fall off, and they just came out and smashed. They came out and smashed them.
I mean, I don't think anyone was really saying it last week. We've said it definitely points before, and I guess this week is going to be the week that I'm pretty sure we're all going to say it. This will be the week where we start the season 4. But I'm ready to be surprised, to be honest, this week. We'll get to that game later, considering it's the top 2 in our power rankings. But the third team on the power rankings is the Sharks. They're finally starting to hit their strides. They haven't been this high, I think, since the beginning of the season and the preseason.
Well, this is where we expected Sharks to be around, right?
Yeah, around here.
Yeah.
To be honest, I had them even higher. I had them second to begin the season, which they still could finish, to be fair. But yeah.
Well, you look at the Sharks are basically in finals. I think they're practically confirmed. They're practically confirmed.
They'd have to really screw up the last 2 games to miss it now.
Yeah. I mean, it shows with the points. I mean, they are 2 points above the 4th place team and 4 above the 5th. They're just a step above everyone else at the moment, and I think that top 3 is really starting to take shape as our real premiership contenders.
Yeah, I still think like the Roosters or Raiders could be up there if they just hit their strides. But I think the thing that puts you off Raiders is the sole fact they're missing Hammer. And, I'm interested to see if Jordan Rapiner is that missing piece this week. If he's that missing piece, Raiders are right up in there with them too. But we'll get to Raiders later. As we get to our 4th place in the power ranking, we have the Roosters.
Yeah.
What do I think of them?
Well, I think I touched on this last week, and they've proven it again. They're so unpredictable. They can genuinely go from being one of the worst teams in the comp to one of the best in a matter of a week. They are just...
Yeah.
They're not consistent at all. I've been backing the Roosters this entire season, but I don't see them doing well at the pointy end.
Well, you're just saying that you could see them making an upset in week 3.
Yes, but I mean, I don't see them pushing all the way through. That's what I mean when I say that.
I can't see that either, to be honest. I see what you mean, though. Like, when you look at their draw, right? All right, let's I want to look at this. So they lost to the Seagulls week 1. They've then beat the Knights. They've then lost to the Tigers. They've then upset the Sharks, which is a big one, by the way. And then they've gone on a rampage against the Rabbitohs. Then they got smashed by the Panthers, and now this week beating one of the teams we thought were the top team, the Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't think the good thing I will say about the Roosters, I believe they haven't got back-to-back losses all season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're going to need a huge push in finals to do well.
But I think I think the Roosters could be up there. I think with a few, if all their players strike, they're a top team. But if they don't do that, then they're not. Because to be realistic, they're probably actually, based on what we've seen so far, they probably actually have the best half combination in the comp. Maybe, I'd say no, maybe Raiders. I'd say based on how they play, I don't know if you guys have been that good all season. I think based on the CRL in the season, maybe I'd say that it'd be either Kiri Walker or White and Fogarty at the moment.
No, actually, I've come up with who it is. It's Dewey and Johnson.
Maybe.
I think Dewey and Johnson's been the best.
Probably, yeah.
That's a conversation for another day. We'll talk about power rankings here. I guess speaking of Whiteson and Fogarty, Raiders are our 5th place team. I don't know what to think of the Raiders at the moment. To be honest.
Yeah.
They're
confusing.
They haven't been good. I'll be straight up. I don't think they've been good since they've lost Hammer in round 5.
Well, they
I
weren't
don't think
good
they've had a
before that, to
convincing
be
full.
fair.
Huh?
They weren't good before that either, to be fair.
They were good when they switched to having a fullback for round 4 and 5 against the Seagulls and Broncos.
Yeah.
And then, that's when Hammer's out. And since then, round 6 and 7, I don't think they've been convincing in either game. Well, obviously they lost this weekend. They weren't convincing against the Eels. There are some concerns. I'm interested to see how bloody Jordan Rapida goes this week. Actually, very interested. I think if he plays well, they're in a massive chance to win the comp. Like straight up, they're in a massive chance to win the comp if he plays well.
Yeah.
I guess we move on to the 6th place team and another team that's been inconsistent and now have a very hard path to get into the finals now. The Seagulls being in 6th place. Jelly, you used to coach this team. Are you very nervous? Obviously, you're still very much Seagulls supporter throughout their last season in CRL.
Yeah, I am nervous. I think there's going to be a lot of results that need to go the Seagulls' way to for them to make finals, but I think they can still do it. I think it'll be difficult, but fingers crossed it all plays out. And
yeah.
I
think if they can win well, then there's no chance they can't make it. But I just think that with them versus the Eels this week, I think the Eels is going to be a very tough game. I think next week if they can put the sword to the Rabbitohs, that gives them a huge chance. But then again, it's going to be a hard path to the finals.
Yeah,
they're doing it the hard way now. And it all goes back again to that Raiders loss. That was bigger. That was bigger than we thought at the time.
Yeah, I had a feeling when that happened that it was going to be one of those moments in a season where you go, oh, God, if only. So...
Yeah, and obviously it was the week that Raiders have switched on. Haven't played incredible that game, but...
Yeah.
For your sake, Jimmy, I hope the Seagulls can find something in these last 2 rounds. Their team is too good for them. I think they're a top 5 side if they play their best. But I think that, it's going to be interesting to see if they can push for that. And our 7th place team, we have the Parramatta Eels. What are our thoughts on them so far? Still touched on it earlier, but...
Dark horses.
No. Yeah, absolute dark horses. Definition.
Yeah, I think they're massive dark horses to make the finals, to be honest. And I think it's based on the fact that they have a decent for and against. And both teams they're versing, right? Pretty much when they win, they're knocking them out of the finals race. Maybe not the Roosters, because if the Roosters win this week, that puts them on 10 points. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, that puts them on... Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, that is the case, yes.
They have 8 points right now, yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that puts them on 10 points, so they could still win if they lose next week to the Eels, but, it pushes them further down the ladder. It makes their job a ton harder, which is...
All I'll say...
very good for the Eels.
Is if the Eels beat the Seagulls this week, I could easily see the Eels making finals.
Oh, I think if they win this week, they will make finals. That's my bold prediction of the week.
Yep.
I don't know, and the thing about the Seagulls, I don't know if I can say it for them. I don't think I can confidently stare at the Seagulls and say, if you win this week, I think you make finals. But with the Eels, I think because due to their authority again, I think if they win this week, they'll make finals.
Well, they're currently sitting in 5th. So, oh no, 6th. They're sitting in 6th. So look, they win, they're in top 5, and I think that the likelihood of both Raiders and Roosters winning is pretty low. The Roosters got Broncos, Raiders have got Knights. I think that could be a big upset. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think if Eels win this week, they get over.
Yeah, I think. Obviously, it still comes down to how the Roosters and Raiders go in this last couple of weeks. But, yeah, it's going to be big last couple of weeks for them. Moving on to our 8th place team. Now, we probably could have dropped this team maybe another place lower. However, keep them here. They're on a 4-game losing streak now. I hope they can fix it up in the last 2 rounds so they don't end the season on a 6-game losing streak. But we have the Broncos in 8.
Yeah.
What's up with the Broncos so far at the moment? What's up with them?
I'm excited to see the Broncos play the next 2 games. I'm so excited to see the Broncos play the next 2 games. They've kind of just thrown caution to the wind. They've picked a very interesting side. and a lot of players making their CRL debuts. In fact, I'll just quickly go through the list. Zarko, Hicker, Kelly, Molar, Oates, Robson.
Six players.
Yep. So I'm really excited to see how those players play, and
Yeah, look, so am I. I don't think I'll get into obviously we'll get into that. I don't think they'll win, but I'm really looking forward to see if they can just put just play footy. Just simply go out there and do your best.
yeah.
I'm not excited for the Broncos at all
How come?
Yeah, well, shut up, Liam.
because they've
I'm
got
joking,
Jermaine
I'm joking.
Osaka on their side.
Listen, if they had Luke Brooks in the same side, I'd say the same things. I can't say too much.
Look, all I'll say is if a sucker has a shitter, he'll be dropping to a player that no one will want to pick up. Because he's already at a 79 right now, so I'm going to hope that he doesn't play badly.
Maybe he goes out and plays an absolute brilliant performance, then plays again against the +3.
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of that, Blake Taff is currently in that position.
Blake Taff?
Blake Taff is in that position at the moment. Blake Taff is rated 8th in the league at the moment.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even know.
Yep, and if he switched to halfback and he doesn't play that appallingly, he will finish with a +3.
It depends on. Yeah, that's actually massive. I didn't realize he was that good. Oh, that's because he played fullback and he played great. He got like 5 line breaks and 118 run meters.
So that means that he'd have to get. That would maybe force the Broncos to bring back Renault to try and if Taff got ahead of Renault. Who knows?
But then again, he could go out and absolutely. Sometimes you have halfbacks that play absolutely appalling, so we'll have to wait and see. And I don't think he's going to switch it from halfback in the final round. So I could see him easily. But to be fair, I don't think there's been a single halfback. Oh no, there's been Mitch Moses. Other than Mitch Moses, there haven't been a halfback that's played fullback, and Mitch Moses did bugger all when he played fullback. So we'll have to see how it goes. Anyway, I guess we move on to our second last team of the Power Rankings, and once again, the Knights. They're a ninth still, and they probably could have. If they won, they would have definitely moved up. But they did very well this week.
I think the Knights have really benefited from Toto at fullback. I think that has been amazing.
It's been the move of the season. It changed their season around.
Yeah, I think if Toto plays fullback the entire season, and I would be confident in saying they finish 6th, like we had them at the start of the season.
Yeah, I don't know if they make finals, but I think they'll go at least close.
Yep.
I can't see these confidence they make finals just because of how many teams are up there and how good they've been. And obviously, there's some players like Munster who hasn't really fired yet. Ponga hasn't either, to be fair. Ponga hasn't been that bad, to be fair, but he hasn't done much. And then obviously there were a few selection errors that weren't the best, but I think Toto's the biggest change of the season. It shook up the league.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think both Saifidi brothers starting as well has really helped him.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they both played really well this week, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, they both scored a try. They both scored a try and no one else did.
Mm-hmm.
On their team, yeah. So.
I guess we'll move on to the 10th place team, which, I mean, no shocks now, it's the Rabbitohs.
Disappointing. That's...
What do you do to fix them?
I mentioned it earlier. I think they just need a good halfback. Their team is there. They've got a really good team there. They just need something. I don't even know if it is a halfback that they need. Honestly, I don't think I could fix the Rabbitohs. I don't know what it is they're missing.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe just a few selection errors could be. I don't know.
I think Olam to second row might work.
Oh, yeah. I think Olam to second row. If you're watching this, Rabbitohs coach, chuck Olam to second row next game. I want to see how that goes. In the finals race.
Oh, please don't do it against my boys. Please don't. I don't want...
You're playing them this week, aren't you?
Yeah, this will come out before he can change his team list. Or after he can change his team list.
After, so yeah
that's what I meant.
Alright. I guess we sort of talked alright, I guess we move on to our next segment. We sort of talked slightly about this, we're going to go more in depth. We have 4 teams. 4 teams to finish 2 positions. Can't work. Which 4 do we see them doing it, and how do we see them doing it? Likelihood to make finals.
Do you want to
We
go
have the
first, Liam?
Raiders, Eels, Seagulls.
I'll go first. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
So the teams that I'm gonna say that are gonna make the finals out of these 4, I'm gonna go Raiders and Eels. I think Roosters are gonna miss with their for and against, and I think Seagulls this won't be. They'll probably win both of their games, but I don't think they'll be able to get across the line.
Well, if they win both their games, the Eels can't make it.
The Eels can't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. So I'm sorry. I'll say they win 1 from 2, and I'll go Roosters and Eels. No, Raiders and Eels. So yeah, I'll go Raiders 4th, Eels 5th.
Well, look, here's the way I see it. I actually see it similar to you. Liam, I can see the Roosters winning this week. That would put them at 10 points. And I'll talk about it later, but I have a prediction with the Raiders this week. I don't see them making... I think Roosters will make it over Raiders just because they're already at 8 points. All they need is 1 more win. And I think the Eels will win their next 2. I think that they'll beat the Seagulls and then they'll go and beat the Roosters in round 9 to make finals. And I think it'll be Roosters 4th and Eels 5th.
I don't know if that can happen considering Roosters are versing Eels.
No, it can. It can happen.
It can?
Yes.
It can?
Especially if what happens to the Raiders happens.
Look, I'm going to be straight up. So, for those that don't know, I did put a ladder prediction in there after the game, and I made that directly after I finished filming last week. However, after watching the Roosters Raiders game again, I'll be straight up. I was really disappointed with the Raiders. They should have won that game.
They should have, yeah.
Part of me thinks that I don't think they're going to make finals anymore. So I'm going to hop on. If what Jilly's saying is true, I'm going to hop on the Roosters Eels train. I'm also going to say Roosters Eels to make finals.
Can't say the Roosters making finals.
I'll tip the Raiders to win it this week. However, I think they're not going to lose to the Tigers.
If the Raiders win that game, I think we're sitting here right now saying the Roosters are probably very likely in this finals, but who knows?
We'll see. Honestly, I was very disappointed with the Raiders, to be honest. Very disappointed. And I was impressed by the Roosters, so that's how I think it will go. Anyway, I guess we'll move on then to another awesome part. We have to be quick about this because we're getting to the point end of the episode. I don't know how much time we have left, but we'll go on to the round 8 predictions.
Let's go.
We're going to start off with the first game of the round. The Knights versus Raiders. I'll start with you, Jilly. Who do you reckon wins this one and by how much?
Okay, I've been teasing this all episode. I think you guys have caught on to what I'm going to say, but the Knights have been insane the past few weeks. I mean, they should have beat the Sharks, should have beat the Panthers. So if they can go against the top 3 teams in the comp, what's stopping them from making a fringe finals team? I see them beating them by 1-12. The Knights to win over the Raiders.
I see the appeal. I really do. But I'm going to go for Rapina to carry for Raiders and win by just a few points. Raiders to just win. However, I do think we'll be sitting here with a lot of concerns and think that the Knights, once again, very well could have won the game, but didn't. That's my whole prediction.
I'm going I'm gonna go Raiders 1-12. The Knights, I think that they're gonna go very close again, but they'll probably just lose. Just like back of experience, and Rapinoe will carry them, as Lachlan said, I think. So
that's pretty much what I said. Alright, we'll go on to the second game of the round, which is the Roosters taking on the Broncos. What are our thoughts?
I think this is a pretty easy game to predict. Just simply because of the Broncos team list. Yeah, I think the Roosters take this one home and they cement themselves a final spot.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I think Roosters. I'm going to say I really do like the Broncos lineup. I really do. I hope they compete. You know what? I hope they win. Just based on the fact that they're just trying something new. Give them a bit of hope for next season. However, my head says Roosters 13 plus, but in my heart, I just want to say 1 to 12.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Roosters 1 to 12.
I didn't specify margin. I think 1 to 12.
Here, just because Jermaine Osako is playing fullback, Roosters 13 plus.
Alright, I guess we'll go with the third game of the round. The Rabbitohs taking on the Sharks.
Sharks 13 plus. Done. Dusted.
That was very quick.
Lock it in.
Alright, I'm going to do a bit more talk about this one since I do want to say some things. Jayden Campbell is playing fullback. I genuinely think he could be a star in this competition. I don't know why. I just want to keep top player. He could be an absolute gun. I really want to just throw it out there. I can't tip a Rabbitohs victory, though. I'll say Sharks 1 to 12.
I'll back my boys 1 to 12.
I guess we're going to our next game there, which is pretty much the battle for the minor premiership.
Yep.
The Panthers taking on the Tigers.
Well,
Who are we tipping?
Look, I can see this game. This is really the game where we'll know how serious the Tigers are. We've been saying it for a few weeks now that this will be the game, but I think this will be the game that we know how serious they are. If they come around and win this game, whew, watch out grand final. Watch out grand final. The Tigers are coming for it, right? The Panthers win this game, I think we'll write off Tigers until they actually get to grand final, if they were to. But I'm going to continue our trend. I'm going to go Panthers 1 to 12.
I want to say a few things about this game. I'm gonna Panthers. I feel like, especially last week, they got off a little bit easy. I'm gonna say a Tigers ambush. Tigers 13 plus.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
They've been getting a little bit off lucky this week. I'm gonna say Tigers put them to the sword. Tigers 13 plus.
Wow, that would put them as very big premiership favourites.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they put them to the sword. I'm gonna say Dane Laurie does another Dane Laurie special just absolutely floors them. I'm gonna say Adam Dwayne and Sean Johnson go very good again. And I'm gonna say Tigers just put them to the medal.
I'm gonna go Tigers 1 to 12. I've got a couple of things. I think the Tigers, they did just the Panthers, as Lachlan said. I think the Panthers have been really getting lucky the last couple of weeks, especially against the Knights. Probably shouldn't have won that game. Against the Raiders too earlier in the season, but they have. And I think the Tigers are just gonna expose them for that, and they'll widen the Panthers' eyes a little bit more. So I'm going with Tigers 1 to 12.
I do want to clarify something with my tip. I don't think necessarily. I think in the finals, if they were to verse, I'd be saying Penrith.
I think the lack of Jerome Luai is big.
Yeah, I think missing of Jerome Luai is big, and I also think the fact that they've been getting off lucky the last couple of weeks is a big factor. I think if they were to verse in a couple of weeks' time, let's say like what I said happens, right? I think if they were to verse in a couple of weeks' times, Panthers would win.
Yeah.
However, I'm just saying that I think in the situation, I'm saying the Tigers versus plus at the moment. I just want to clarify that. That's my thought process behind it. I won't say it's that confident, but that's my bold prediction of the week. I guess we move on to the final game of the round. Pretty much another knockout game. We have the Seagulls taking on the Eels.
Yeah, this should be a cracker. I'll be watching, cheering for the Seagulls. I hope we get across the line, but unfortunately, I don't see it happening. I think the Eels have finally found their combos. Their prop lock combo, and now they've got a good halves combination as well. I think their centers are firing in Wonga Blake and Panasini. I mean, he hasn't been amazing, but he's been good enough. Reed Marnie, obviously being one of the best hookers in the league. I just think the Eels have too much class, and the Manly are too inconsistent at the moment, unfortunately.
The Eels would be a better team if they just played opposite. If they had have kept opposite. I'm just saying. Okay.
True.
I'm going Eels 1-12. I think the Sea Eagles just won't be good enough for the Eels, especially.
I'm gonna go. I do genuinely think Eels dark horses for this one. I think now that I've said that, I think Eels are gonna make the top 5. I have to go. This one's a hard one because I genuinely want to tip the Sea Eagles, but I just can't. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I'm gonna say the Eels by like 1 point or something. It'll be close. I never breaks your heart, Jilly, but I'm gonna say Eels by 1 point. You're hoping for someone to go with you.
Well.
Yeah,
Honestly.
Well, I guess that rounds out the. Oh, sorry, were you gonna say something?
Nah. Go ahead.
I guess that rounds out the episode of CRL 360. Thank you, Jilly, and thank you, Liam, for joining me. And I'll be signing off. Peace.